Through our discussion of variables, we found out how to store a single value into a certain place and reference it by name. But what if we want to store multiple values in that same place? Well, we can do that with what's called an array, which is a list of values. And the syntax for this is quite similar to that of a single value variable. What I'm going to do first is after the name of the variable, I'm going to put square brackets. This will tell it that whatever is being stored in here is going to be an array. And then I will, over here, enclose this in curly brackets. And in these curly brackets, I'm going to list all of the values that I want in the array. So I can say 5, 6, 7. And that is going to store the values 5, 6, and 7 in the array X. Now when I want to actually reference one of these values, I have to specify its index. So down here when I try to print X, I want to specify that I want the item in position 1 of X. Now it's important to note that the indices of these items are zero-based. So if I put a comment down here, I can show you that the index of this item is 0, and this item is 1, and this item is 2. So when I reference X, I talk about the array in its entirety, and then I use the square brackets again to reference the index 1, which holds the value 6. So if I compile this and run it, you'll see it prints out the value 6. And then later I can come and say I want to reference 2. I can compile that, and I'll get 7, because 7 is an index 2. In addition to being able to reference individual items within the array, I can manipulate them as well. So I can say x2 equals x2 plus 1. Or more succinctly, I can say x2 plus equals 1. And this will simply add 1 to the item of position 2 in the variable x. So remember, position 2 is 7, and if we add 1 to that, it will be 8. So if I print that out, then this should give us 8. So in addition to being able to store and reference items together in an array, I can also manipulate them one at a time. What's important to note, though, is that the size of the array, that is the number of things in it, is static. I cannot change the number of items in an array. The size of this array is 3, and it will always be 3 without exception. Now, this is not entirely true. There is actually a way to declare what is called a dynamic array, or one that can change sizes, but we're not going to talk about that just yet. For now, just know that once you have made the size of the array, it has to stay that size. And we can even be explicit about this in our declaration by saying int x3 to specify that there are going to be 3 items in the array. So the array is particularly useful in that it allows us to store multiple values together under one name. And this is most commonly used when these values are in some way related to one another. So for example, if I was storing the temperature data across a number of days, so we'll say int temperatures as an array equals, and then I'll give the degrees Celsius for each day. It's a pretty cold week over here. So these values are not only grouped together because they are showing the same thing, that is the temperature, but they are also ordered properly. So this is the first day, and this is the second day, the third day, etc. So by using the array, we can group related data together in an ordered fashion. So if this video was useful for you, please leave a like. It helps me grow the channel, and it will help other people find the video. And again, if you would like to see these tools used in a broader context, I recommend checking out my Developer Diary series, where I am working long-term on big projects and actually putting these tools to use. So thank you for watching, I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next one.